Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick update on my channel. You've probably been wondering where the heck I've been. So about 2 years ago, my wife and I had our first child, and apparently taking care of a kid and a toddler is very time consuming. So I really haven't had much time to do any Linux type videos. So with that, I do have some time again, and I would like to give back to the community and give my thoughts about some Linux type stuff. So I do need to keep things a little bit simpler. One of the first things to go will be greenhornlinux.com. I'll just no longer maintain the website. It'll just be so much easier to just do everything through YouTube because entering and updating my blog is just very, very time consuming. Not sure how many videos I'm going to release per week. I'd like to do one per week. That might be a little bit too optimistic. Definitely would like to do, bare minimum, at least one video per month, but hopefully I can do more than that. So with that, we're going to try to keep the videos shorter. I know I tend to ramble on, but going to try. Simpler and no intro music. We'll just get right into the topic. That way it hopefully doesn't waste your time as well. So at this point I just want to quickly talk about my current setup, some pros and cons to Linux, and why I choose to do what I do. So in regards to my setup. So current setup is this. My laptop runs Linux 100%, and my desktop runs Windows 8.1 100%. Windows 8.1 definitely has its issues, which is kind of what draws me to Linux. And with that, most real work gets done in Linux. Ironically, on the Windows side, this is where my Linux videos are made. I've just found that trying to edit video in Linux, it can be done. I just feel that it's not nearly as efficient with some of the video software that's available for Windows. So since I have to run both operating systems, I feel that why should I waste my time trying to video edit in Linux when, for me personally, it's much easier in Windows. Sorry, not to piss people off, but Linux really sucks for this. And gaming is also done in Windows. Now, hopefully in the future, a lot of my gaming can be done in Linux. I'm super excited what Steam is doing with Linux and how dedicated they are to Linux. But let's face it, like right now, they have what, maybe like 1,000 games on Steam, where Windows has, I don't even know where to begin, right? Windows has been producing most PC gaming for Windows started like 20 years ago. So Windows literally has like 20 plus years on Linux. So there's no way that Linux can compete with that. So in the future, I might find that a lot of the main games, if they're being made for Linux, I could maybe get away from Windows for the gaming end. But again, I also need my Windows computer for work. I talked to the IT at work, and I wanted to VPN from my Linux machine, and they do not support Linux, unfortunately. So again, I'm tied to Windows. So yeah, it's Windows is here to stay. So at this point, you're probably wondering, wow, that's 3 major dings against Linux. Why in the world are you even using Linux? Well, honestly, the workflow is super powerful. Linux is very fast feeling, and it's basically for my workflow. So quite honestly, I'm in Linux 90% of the time, and it's just that 10%, whether I want to game, video edit, or for work, if I need to quickly VPN in, that I am actually using Windows. But for the most part, Linux all the way. I love my Linux laptop. It's super great to do most tasks, and honestly, it does most tasks much better than the Windows 8 operating system. So currently, I am using the awesome Windows Manager. I've configured it with Xubuntu 14.04, basically the Xubuntu long-term support. So in theory, I should have 5-year support with that. And the way I've set it up, and again, we'll do videos on this, to make the awesome Windows Manager super easy to use, is I have all of the XFCE daemons running in the background, and I just have the awesome Windows Manager basically configured to, basically I'm just using the awesome Windows Manager as my window manager instead of, what's the default with XFCE? I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I've just replaced that window manager for the awesome window manager, so I get all my tiling and all that goodness, but I don't have to spend thousands of hours trying to configure the awesome Windows Manager. Everything auto authenticates when it's supposed to. It's a very good setup, and it's a great compromise to get the awesome Windows Manager up and running very, very quickly without having to spend a lot of time with the RC Lua file to configure the awesome Windows Manager. Now, having said that, Unity in 14.04 was almost great for me. I've used that very extensively. Slight issues with Compiz being a little bit crashy for my tastes, so I switched back to the awesome Windows Manager with Xubuntu. But even still, if I had my choice between Unity, Awesome, or Mint, or any of those, I would totally choose that over the Windows operating system. I mean, I hate using traditional desktops now that I've gotten used to awesome Windows Manager. And even with Unity, I mean, it's not what I would consider a traditional desktop environment, but I absolutely love using the Unity environment. I think it is fantastic. It's super quick. Not as quick in my opinion as the awesome Windows Manager, but I can navigate very, very quickly and switch to the windows and applications that I want very, very quickly. And now whenever I use the Windows operating system, I always get annoyed because the workflow is just, it feels so much slower as far as switching applications and launching stuff. But yeah, definitely non-traditional desktop environments for me. So the next video that I want to do is basically going to be for people that are kind of on the fence with Linux, why you may or may not want to invest the time to explore Linux further. And if you're already using Linux, probably be a waste of time for you. But if you have friends that are kind of interested in Linux or want the truth about Linux and some of the details behind it, that video may be for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.